'Cause I'm done cleaning up your mess. Found myself in my regrets. I've become a little stronger now. 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 You cashed in on my promises. You know I'm too generous. Now I've learned to never help you out. 'Cause I'm done cleaning up your mess. Found myself in my regrets. I've become a little stronger now. A little stronger now. Casting on my promises. You know I'm too generous. Now I've learned to never help you out. 'Cause I'm done cleaning up your mess. Found myself in my regrets. I've become a little stronger now. A little stronger now.
Open eye, feel the waves cut through me. Hypnotized by the sounds I'm breathing in. Hold tight, chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Dripping lights paint the skies, all because of you. Dripping lights paint the skies, only you can make me move. Can make me move. Can make me
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. this empty town. We're searching for the lost and found. But you don't care, you're unaware. Keep moving like the scars aren't even there. It's in the air, like a blazing flare. Just stare, cause the flames will burn us. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. I used to kiss your head when you cried for me. Hold your hand while the pain was over. Keep you warm by the roaring sea. You meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. My darling dear, you're never here. When I'm in pain, you hide and disappear. Like shadows in the atmosphere, charting the stratosphere. Yeah. I prayed for you and kept you near, in hopes you'd chase away my fears. I'm on my own, you made it so, and now I'm chasing nightmares through. I used to run with you through the great big leaves, laugh at you when you laugh at me. Hope for us because I believe the home was just you and me. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me.
Do you remember how you held me then? Now you got me reaching out. And do you see you got me falling in more times than I can get out? Down in the deep of my mind, I call for you and you're always inside. Down in the deep of my mind, how long do I got to keep you, to keep you? Down in the deep of my mind, I call for you and you're always inside. Down in the deep of my mind, trying so hard not to keep you, to keep you.
Hey, what is up, everybody, and welcome to the stream. It is that time of the week again where we get some more good old community clash action underway, and I'm joined by the man, the inevitable man himself. It's Mr. Delray. How you doing?
Good, Nick, and yourself.
Well, I know, Dallas, you've been busy on your side of things, and I know that tonight we're going to be just as busy because we've got a lot of action, especially with these two. I think there's a potential upset on the hands. If you're just wondering what match that is, it's Astra taking on Frantic 6. And going into this one, we know the potential of Astra, but we do know that there's some hidden gems in that Frantic squad.
There is indeed, Nick. Talking about upsets, I don't know if we'll see one, but it is on the cards and it can happen. If we just look at this this bracket that Astra Infinite, you have got Phoenix, Frantic, the people that call themselves loser bracket, and then Blair. But if you just look at these two teams, you're probably looking at Astra and Phoenix at the top, with Frantic right up there with them. It's all going to come down on how Frantic plays their search and destroy. I don't think they'll take any respawns off Astra. But, Nick, if anything goes like the game between Phoenix and Astra last time we casted, anything can happen.
Yeah, and for me, I'd like to focus on that Frantic lineup. I know Respawn is going to be very, very tricky with them, especially coordinated, how coordinated, rather, this Astra lineup squad is. I mean, definitely the team to beat at the moment and have, decidedly so, remained undefeated throughout the group stages thus far, potentially. Maybe this match will be the one where they actually drop a couple of rounds. We'll still have to wait and see. In terms of the previous lineup, I mean, Phoenix is tied with them on points. That being said, Phoenix is high in terms of rounds that they've lost less rounds altogether. But the big thing here is that last time that we saw Phoenix taking on Frantic, it was actually Phoenix that came up with the win. So going into this one, all dues considered, last time we, of course, casted the Astra versus Phoenix lineup, and Astra came out on top, but it was a very tight game. I'm not too sure. Will Frantic have what it takes? I want to find out your thoughts in the chat. By all means, please let us know. And jumping across straight to, we do have the map lineup, so how about we take a little bit of a look? Alright, so jumping into the maps, our first map is going to be Ramaza, Hardpoint, and then we're going to be heading over to the Piccadilly Circus, where we've got some search and destroy action underway, and then Hackney Yard Domination. If we make it to round number 4, some of you might be predicting the 3-0 straight sweep from Astra. However, I am hopeful that the squad from Frantic 6 can pull off some kind of upset here, whereas on the other side of things, Arkcliffe Peak will be search and destroy if we go all the way. Those are going to be our maps, and of course, these are our two teams. From our side of things, I think we're pretty much ready to go, so if they're ready to go, it's all about time to jump into the game. I want to find out, ladies and gentlemen, your predictions before we go into this first one, but maybe having a look at this series, you mentioned the search and destroys is going to be a big focus here for the Frantic team. Do you think that they possibly can cause an upset in that mode?
Well, yeah, Nick, if we go on what happened last time, as you mentioned, with the stream between Phoenix and Astra, the search and destroy from Astra wasn't up to par, I would put it. They made a lot of mistakes. They went to round 11, and somehow they took that round and that specific mode. But just specifically looking at domination, Nick, and being played on Hackney Yard, I think it is. I don't see Frantic getting that at all. I think this Astra squad is way too strong when it comes to domination, specifically that map. But with this hard point on Ramaza, Nick, I do think it's falling to the way of Astra.
Alright, so we go across to the hard point, and we see from the top view at the moment, it's going to be Astra in red, Frantic 6 in blue. And it does look like first player forward is going to be Cobbs on his side of things, that gets himself into a great position as Raheel already picks himself up too with the AR and chases the play of the heel with Cobbs from the back end. It's looking very clean from the Astra squad so far.
It is indeed, and the biggest player was from Hype, so he went all the way around securing the spawns for P2, and we can see how important that is. Always so competed contested in P1, but P2 already secured, as you can see with Carl Hype right at the back.
Yeah, and that's a good positional placement for him. As you can see already, the furthest player that spawned away was Redham, and he spawned essentially at the starting point of Astra, and that's going to give them a very difficult time considering rotations. However, having a look at heal time so far, Scorch is going to try and make his way through. Unfortunately, he will get shut down. So with 14 seconds left on the heal, this one is going to play into Astra's favor. So I want to actually jump on board here with Redham, who's gotten off to, it has to be said, a little bit of a slow start, if the cod-clash allows me to change. And there we go. Picks up the kill and now needs to make some moves with his team, as it does look like they're going to be going through the courtyard side. And going to try push in and try break this as a unit. The stuns will go out. There's no trophy system to delay them just yet, as that one will get taken out as well.
You see it's trying to push from the front, but it is shut down by Astra once again. Not getting in there at all. But Nick, if you're just looking at that scoreline, 41 and counting for the guys from Astra, just leading about 10 and going up. And that rotation is going to come in yet again. You can see Ollie playing number 3 if you look at your minimap. Hypes gets the knife on Redham, not the best start for Redham on this map. But again, Nick, if you're looking at Astra, you're looking at how structured do they play. And this is exactly what you get from this team. Ollie's sitting right at the back for P3 now.
Well, I just brought up the weapons just so we could have a little bit of a look at what either team was running. But it is going to be Ollie that's furthest back here, and we'll be able to take the player that's essentially trying to fight for those spawns when we're going all the way to P3 at the moment. And taking a look at, I believe it's Bep. He has a great opportunity here with his squad to try regain control, because Astra seemingly have extended far over the lane. And that's once again something that they've shown time and time again. They don't necessarily just fight for the spawns and hold it there. They push the line to make sure that the opposition is spawning even further out of the map.
Yeah, and you can see how confident they are, Nick, with the Astra in specific. They push out, they know they're going to win these gunfights. As you can see, if they didn't have someone at the back and they didn't get those kills, they wouldn't have spawned back there. But they do indeed, as a rotation comes in yet again with 25 seconds left of that heal to come. But it's been one-way traffic there.
Yeah, and at the moment, I'm currently on board with Ollie, who's got himself what will more than likely be around about 1 minute 30 seconds of heal time, already going 8 and 2. And just having a look at the KD department, Astra's firing on all cylinders at the moment, whereas on the other side of things, Redham, I mean, we jumped on board with him a little bit earlier for that one kill, and so, since then hasn't been able to build up much momentum from his side. I think furthest forward, Sizz has been doing some good work in the hill, actually coming up with some defense of his own, and once again looking relatively strong in comparison to the rest of his team.
Yeah, indeed. If you're just counting out the kills from this Frantic team, I don't think they come close to that of Astra's. We've got 5 from Heroes. We've got Redham on 1. We've got Beppel on 4. Scorch on 3, and Sizz, the only one going, well, positive at this stage.
Yeah.
And you can clearly see it with the scoreline, Nick. And surprisingly for me, Carl Hypes plays so much FIFA, and he's 11 and 1. It surprises me the skill that this guy has.
Yeah, at the moment he's not dribbling, he's dripping down on the opposition, as he's currently just will get his second death, so doubling up on his death count for the game there with 2. At the moment, Astra just seemingly unstoppable when it comes down to hardpoint. It seems they get the early rotations once again as we bring up the overview, and you can see them moving across. And it is going to be the man inside the hill, none other than Ollie.
Yeah, Ollie just racking it up. 1 minute, 40 seconds and counting, just ducking and diving. Ives getting all the kills. Ollie there as well. Rahil, they're all doing their part. It's really, really one-way traffic, and I don't think they're going to even break this hill or even come close. As you can see, all the blue arrows. I don't know if it's blue on
look at Scorch.
next side, but Frantic is trying to break in, and this looks like now.
Yeah, Scorch is going to be the furthest man in, as they do eventually break the hill, and Scorch now needs to dart around on his right-hand side. Contests in the archers, unfortunately for him, will get taken out. And now furthest man forward is going to be Kovs, and he comes out on top of a couple of important gunfights there, certainly up against Scorch, as it does look like he eventually will get taken down there in a little bit of a commentator's curse. But so far, Frantic, it's been looking exactly that. Frantic, but not really well cultured in terms of their setups just yet.
Now you can definitely see which team has, and maybe not put in the time, because knowing Redham and Heroes and how much time they do put into Call of Duty, you must think that they're up there with Astra on rotations, on setups. But Astra clearly doing a better job at this stage, and that comes down to winning on gunfights when needed, getting those rotations in, and this is why the scoreline reads 214 to 66.
Well, Eros has had a little bit of a resurgence in this second half of the game, currently going 14 for 15. So almost being able to build himself up to neutral. On the other side of things, Sizz has, unfortunately for his side, dropped off. So, I mean, I'd like to see a little bit more of a better performance of Frantic going into the domination as the next respawn game mode. I think it's one of the things that either everybody's just blowing cold or they just can't stand up against the heat that is this Astra lineup. So we're going to have to wait and see, but we've seen some decent moments here from Frantic, but it's definitely not consistent enough.
Indeed so, and this is the first time that Frantic actually gets spawns and gets the first time in the next heal. As we can see now, it's going to be Astra trying to break in from the front and the back, and Nick, it's 1, 2, 3 and they're in there.
Yeah, it does look like they should be able to hold this one off, as the furthest player forward for Frantic 6 is going to be Redham, and at the moment they wish they had that 6th player that their squad alludes to, because it is going to be coming up Astra. A pretty clean victory as they put them in the 100 club and say, you know what, you guys need some more practice when it comes down to hardpoint.
I think if we take it back a year, I think it's time for the tacos, if we can think back that far with 100 clubs. But from Astra, clearly they've put in the work, and if your team on the other side hasn't broken the 10 kill barrier, 7 there for Scorch, 7 for Bethel, we have 5 there from Redham. The slaying power is just too much there from Astra.
I mean, having a look at the scorecard there, could you possibly break that down from your side of things just to say, who do you think was the standout players for this game?
Well, if I'm looking at Astra, firstly, I'm looking at Hypes, and he went 20 and 9. But the biggest thing for me is it was his rotations from the start. We saw him rotate over 2P2. He was always the one there. But also hand in hand with Hypes does the work of Ollie goes in there as well. He's also one of the guys getting in those rotations, getting in the heal with 2 minutes in heal. So it just shows you, everyone in this team knows what they need to do. And obviously, if you have Kovs, Rahil, and Lithium Doru backing things up, it makes it so much easier. And then on the other side of this Frantic squad, Eros really needs some help at this stage.
Yeah, Eros is going to need some assistance. I mean, he had a little bit of help early on from, I believe, that was Sizz from his side of things on heals, actually getting some kills in the back pocket. Unfortunately for him, it just didn't really last for him in his squad. So we're going to have to wait and see what happens in game number 2. Of course, when it goes down to that map, we are going to be playing some Search and Destroy on Piccadilly, and a very interesting map in its own right. A lot of lines of sight, some snipes off of the gate. You've got to make it through those treacherous streets to try and get across. We're going to more than likely see a couple of smoke grenades being thrown out as well. So there's a lot to play for in game number 2 here. Do you want to change momentum in terms of thinking that this is an opportunity for Frantic to actually solidify some kind of comeback in this game?
Well, it's going to have to start with the first bloods, Nick. If they can maybe with the sniper get set up and get that first pick and maybe play around that, they can maybe cause an upset in the Search and Destroy. But just looking at Astra's hardpoint play and how dominant they were with the slaying department, I think this is also going to be a battle for them in the Search and Destroy.
I also do. I mean, it's going to be tough. I mean, Astra is always well coordinated. Doesn't matter really the mode at times. And definitely has been one of the standout teams throughout the series so far. I'm sure we've got some interesting stories to tell when it comes down to that Premier Knockout, which is seemingly around the corner at the moment, but also the Challenger at the moment. We've got some very decent teams, some teams that have shined through from previous games. And for right now, we're just waiting to be able to join the players on their side of things. But going into the Search and Destroy chat, thank you for joining us here, everybody. This is, of course, the ACGL Community Clash for Call of Duty. And when it comes down to this match you're currently watching, if you just joined us, it's Astra versus Frantic 6. And we're going into essentially map number 2 here in this best out of 5 series. I want to find out your predictions. Who do you think is going to be able to come out on top? Dallas, you alluded to you think Astra's more than likely going to be able to put the lead here in the search. Do you think it's going to be a convincing, or do you think it's going to be rather tight?
I think if you're a supporter of Astra, if Astra themselves, you're thinking to yourself, you need to have a good showing in the Search and Destroy. Last time we saw them, it went round 11. I don't think it's going to go that way this time. Yeah. I think they want to come out firing. They want to end the 6-0, get it done with, and go on with domination. But obviously, Frantic also a good squad. They can put up the fight. They just need to get those first bloods and work around that. And that was the biggest problem from Astra last time we casted them, Nick, was that first bloods.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing with Astra at the moment, they always seem to have that comeback option to them. It's like, despite them going down as one of the first kills, they always seem to come out solid. And one of their players that has actually been a standout on that side has been Rahil. I've seen him being very, very smart by playing opposite bomb side to what they're attacking to make sure he can pick off players on rotation. Maybe Frantic have been watching that, because this is a very similar map in its own right, is that the bomb sites are very well spread. You've got that long line of sight going through mid. Maybe he's going to be able to do that again. We're going to have to wait and see, but for right now, it does look like everybody is pretty much in and ready. So I'm just going to say that from our side of things, we're ready. And they can start when they're good to go. So let me drop that across. And for right now, ladies and gentlemen, Astra, I mean, is there anybody? I mean, do you think that there's anybody that can actually shut down the door rather on them in the tournament?
Well, Nick, I'm looking at a possible 3 teams. I highly doubt it will happen. Phoenix, one of them, that being in their group, that can possibly cause an upset. Big emphasis on possibly. You have WRG that maybe can do something like that. Envy is another team. But outside of those 3 teams, I highly doubt we will see anyone actually pushing or taking a map away from Astra.
All right. Delray, that's harsh, but it's also, I mean, I can understand it. I mean, Astra is a difficult team to just even seeing them come out with a loss at any point. But at the moment, we've got Frantic 6 taking on Astra, and at the moment, it does look like everything is pretty much good to go from our end as we make sure that the overlay can also be brought forward. But so far, any interesting weapon choices from any one of the teams?
Well, obviously we see Dylan Dario being exactly who he is, a submachine gun up in the faces of the opposing team. And clearly we can see from the start of this, no one's really sitting back and waiting for the fights. They're all taking it up front.
Does seem that way. It does look like a big sniper rifle shot is going to land there on Bep, as now we cross to Scorch, who's left in a 1v2 situation, if it allows me to change. There we go. Thank you, Codcaster. As at the moment, he's got a lot of weight on his shoulders. He has essentially an M4, and I believe he's got a sniper rifle in the back pocket. And just like that, a bullet will appear out of nowhere and eliminate him from the map. So tough for Bep there, as he does get picked off at range from Ollie.
Yeah, Ollie with that sniper coming in handy. And it is one of those maps where your sniper will come in handy. It's all on how you play it. We see a lot of play styles with the sniper being aggressive and some sitting back. But in that case, Ollie sat back and he did get that kill there on Pepper at the end.
All right, so on attack now, it's going to be Astra. If we can jump across to them. Please let me jump across to them. Thank you, Godcaster. You are so nice sometimes. As once again, it's not allowing me to go to Ollie, who's up against the wall, as it does look like he's sniping that one out. So Jiro, does look like this is going to be more than likely a push towards the A-bomb site, as Jiro will face a Semtex grenade on the bomb. And there we go. Thank goodness we can actually jump into a first-person POV, as we jump aboard with Rahil from this side of things. And so far, Rahil doesn't spot out anyone just yet. Bep takes down one, brings it to a 3v4 in favor of Frantic 6. They've got to be liking this on defense.
Yeah, indeed so, and was very, very well played from Frantic, as they got Heroes got that nade in and killed Dylan that's planting, but the bomb has gone down by Covs. I'm on board with him now as he's trying to find someone around him, can hear him, just not see him as he tries to take out Heroes. He does eventually take him out, but it's up to Beppel yet again, and he can't finish things up, as it's 2-0 now for Astra.
2-0 indeed, as Astra essentially double their lead on the search and destroy. Now Rahil jumps around the corner, picks up Bep. Good call outs there, you have to assume, from the teammates to be able to point that one out. And now once again, sides will swap. And so far, I want to just have a look at the top view and see how these two teams are setting up. As it's going to be Astra on the attack. Or rather, sorry, Frantic 6 on the attack. And having a look at the lineup, it's going to be Scorch actually with the sniper rifle.
We can see how the teams are busy setting up. Looks like an A push again, but look how aggressive Daru is yet again for Astra, trying to get in there. But good trades do come in. There's a couple kills gets down there from Frantic. 2 players go down for Astra. And they've got the man advantage now. It's all on how they utilize that. Do they get bombed down? Where do they go? And it looks like Astra's going to go commit over on A.
Does look like there's going to be a commitment towards a bomb site from the Astra as well as the Frantic team as the bomb looks to get planted here. It's going to be the top control there. Will get called out there from Scorch as he takes down Hypes. Now it's going to be left to Ollie and Raheel. As the bomb site gets called, that is clean. Eros will pick up a kill and Ollie will go down. So Frantic pick themselves up their first search and destroy round here.
Yeah, well played by them. They knew Lithium or Daru would push up and play aggressive. They did get that trade in and they got Covs in the same breath there. And then just capitalize on the players. The bomb didn't even go down. And just well played from them. From Astra, I think they were just a bit overeager.
Potentially a little bit overeager there, but now on the defensive side of things, it's going to be Frantic. And on the opposite side, I want to jump on board with Ollie. He seemed relatively prolific. Oh my goodness, what have you done?
It happens. The nades do fly over from Astra, and then usually a car blows up, and Shiz is taken out by that as he falls 1 and 3 now.
I think he might have done that to himself, to be honest. I'm not too sure what happened there, but does look like the bomb has been planted at A regardless, and at the moment it's going to be Ollie trying to come up with the rotations. As he takes down Bep, he gives him a little bop on the side, and just like that, he goes down. So now we're down to a 4v3 situation as Eros, Scorch, and Redham are forced to try and make the retake here as Ollie picks up another.
I think this is going to be really difficult if Ollie can find a kill there. Yes, there's another on his side. He doesn't know it. And he gets taken out by Scorch. It's 2v4. Make that now a 1v3. And
yeah.
That's it, Nick. Quick play, get the bomb down, and I think that's what we expect from Astra.
Yeah, I mean, from Astra's side of things, they just very, very clean once they get that bomb down. And once that bomb goes down that quickly, you realize now you have to retake as a team. And if you're not defending those bomb sites, making sure that essentially Astra are kept clear of it, you find yourself in a very, very difficult predicament early on as Ollie basically just picks off anybody that's thinking about making those rotations. But for right now, Frantic on the attack. And let's see with Scorch yet again, if it allows me. It's allowing me to go into anybody but Scorch. It does look like there's going to be a B push in store here.
Yeah, it looks like it, but again, the utility coming over from Astra, and it's making it really impossible for Frantic to get over as Raheel gets a kill and Ollie gets a kill there as well with Koffs, and that's only now Scorch left alive and he gets taken out. And Nick, it's just again the knowledge of Astra coming through with the utility and then backing it up with gunskill as well.
Yeah, you have to be so careful when you're making those rotations, especially when they've got a sniper rifle essentially staring down mid and giving those callouts saying, you know what, they're going A or they're going B. And that becomes the indicator to throw those nades over, as you mentioned, the utility to take out those vehicles. And of course, an enhanced explosive damage, going to be able to come up with essentially the freebies in terms of kills. So for right now, it's going to be Astra on the attack. And Jiro is going to be the first one to pick up the bomb yet again. It does look like an A push might be in store here, as trophy systems will get lined up. Ooh, they're not going to be able to go down as quickly as they did last time. Simtex will get thrown down. Cogs will be able to pick down one. Jiro gets a Simtex, and that's going to give them the all clear to make the pop run.
It's really one-way traffic, but too easy from Astra. They get the kills sitting back, and it's just overpeaking from Frantic, and that's why we see they this time just sat back a bit with waiting for the nades or the utility coming from Frantic to explode or come down on site. And then after they used everything, Lithium got the bomb down, and it was one-way traffic again.
Yeah, I mean, so far it's been looking very clean from the Astra lineup, but who knows, maybe Frantic have something in their corner at the moment. They're going to have to when it comes down to the attacking side now on the search, as they get ready to transition their way through. They're looking to once again push towards the left-hand side. It's going to be player number 2, which is Scorch with the sniper rifle. Will take down Hype, so that's going to be a good one. However, a little bit of a trade as Jiro picks up the sniper and gets one for himself as well. Oh, it's not looking good now for Frantic as the momentum quickly shifts out of their favor. Oh, Redham
Yeah.
with 2.
Yeah, Redham needs 2 more to keep the hopes alive as he sees one. Tries to reach Shell Ollie with the
Pistol, there we go, Redham.
Yeah.
Wow.
But the bomb is all the way on the other side. And Doru Lithium is just camping, making sure Redham can't get over there. And I think if Redham gets the skill, it might be his 4th one for the round. So let's see if he can do it and keep his team's hopes alive.
I mean, this would be a clutch for the top 5, ladies and gentlemen, as it does look like Jiro will get spotted. Will he get spotted? I'm not too sure. Well, do the spotting here as Redham needs to try and make his way towards the bomb site at the moment. It does look like both players going to hang 10 a little bit here. Jiro's going to be able to peek out a little bit. Oh, Redham tries to come up with the shots. Will he be able to connect with them? No, he is unable to. So will he go for the bomb plant here, or will he try go for the challenge? As we called it many a time before, the ego chell. Shoots
Whoa,
through. Oh! No, but doesn't connect with the kill. Redham, you've got to feel for him, but it is going to be essentially another map point going in favor of Astra here. He just decided, you know what, I'm aiming here. There's a couple of seconds left, so let me pull the trigger. Comes out with a hit marker, and it has to be said, Lithium from his side, a.k.a. Jiro, does well to get out of that sticky situation.
Yeah, he has the, what can I say, the experience. He's been around for so long, and we can clearly see he didn't get over eager there. Redham did try his utmost best to get this or keep this game going, but unfortunately couldn't get that last one on Doru. But again, from the guys from Astra, it's just the firepower that they have is unmatched at this point.
Yeah, and for right now, I mean, that means that from Frantic side of things, they're going to go to another respawn game mode here, Delray, and that's got to be tough. I mean, Astra have been so prolific in both the Search to Destroy and the Hardpoint. Yeah. Do they have weaknesses when it comes down to domination? And I think we've seen them play on Hackney previously, but let's have a look at those maps, as it is going to be, once again, Hackney Yard. And I don't know, has Frantic been doing some homework? Maybe having a little bit of a look at what are those potential weaknesses? Is it an overextend, overcommitment coming in from the Astra squad? Or is it, you know what, we just got to play better. That's what we have to do.
Well, you have to play out of your mind, I think, if you're the other team. Because Astra is a brick wall at this stage. You're not getting through it. And specifically, I mentioned at the start that this domination, I don't see it going anywhere else than to Astra. We've seen them against Phoenix. It was one-way traffic, and that squad is even up there with Astra. So yeah. I think we're going to see a runaway with this domination.
All right, Delray, from your side of things, you I guess predicting that it's going to be a harsh 3-0, which is going to be tough. I mean, that's going to put essentially Frantic from their side of things as a guaranteed 3rd placement in a lot of ways this late in the group stages. And that means that they're going to be going to the Challenger Series. Definitely one of the top teams to be able to contest in the Challenger Series, without a doubt. However, I mean, I don't see them having any upsets anytime soon. This was really a match that they need to win. And who knows, maybe they can use that fire to come out with something solid when it comes down to this. Essentially what might be their final map, but who knows. It is Call of Duty at the end of the day, and anything can happen. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, if you are joining us, this is going to be map number 3. It is 2-0 currently in favor in the hands of Astra, rather. So, Delray, from your side of things, is there anything Frantic can focus on to try turn this one around?
Well, they're going to have to work so hard on retaining A site, and we've spoken about this, Nick, on Hackney domination, especially on A site. It is the site to have, and if you can have that flag and have that site, you're most likely going to walk away with a good lead, depending on where you're spawning. But for me, Nick, if you just focus on the Astra team and you look at the core players and you look what all of them bring to the table, it outclasses almost every single team that South Africa or COD-ZA has at this point.
Yeah.
As you have the two brothers, the chemistry is there. You have Hypes that won last year's COD champs, or COD champs, well, the championship.
What?
We call it the
What did he
champs,
win? COD
basically.
champs?
But you have him, you have Lithium, the experience is there, and then obviously who doesn't mention Rahil, the straightest shooter that I've ever seen. So just that core from their side, it's going to be an uphill battle for this Frantic team. But well, I have mentioned A side, very important, and it's already the team from Astra or the team from Frantic that's going to capture it.
All right, it does look like this is going to be heavily contested on B side, but it's going to be player number 3. That's Bep that gets heavily surrounded, as eventually will go down, and this should essentially give the B side a little bit of freedom to get captured here. Now it's essentially the Frantic squad going to be rotating through mid. They need to try use these numbers to try push through and to try gain some kind of advantage. However, players 6 and 0, that's Kovs and Duro, have a lot of work in mid-map to do to try and regain some kind of map control.
Yeah, I can already see with you open your mini-map there, Nick, and we can see the overview. Player number 9, Rahil, is already on A. They're going to capture A, and this is going to be a 3 cap, and I think majority of this map, we're going to see 3 caps being held, but it's Rahil just opting to neutralize the flag on A.
And we've seen this, the 5th player being dedicated to essentially be the thorn in the side of the opposition, and Redham will shut down that thorn and remove it essentially from the hip of this Frantic lineup. For right now, it's going to have to be a little bit of a regroup coming in from Frantic to try clear their lines. One of the first places that they're going to need to clear is green side, where Ollie will actually get taken down. But it does look like, once again, on the opposite end, Duro is going to overextend his way into A. They currently actually want to fight for A, just so they can get the better spawns and try start to push Frantic towards the C side.
Yeah, Frantic it is, and Doro looks like he's going to neutralize this. And these 2 players are Frantic there. He spots one, but he gets help from his teammates, and the communication on top there, top notch. As we can see that the trip cap come in again, Nick, and it looks like it's going to be Frantic at least getting C.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, you could see the overcommitment, some might say, in terms of Astra going all the way around to try pick up A and B. It's clearly the better side. As soon as you start pushing them into that control, as soon as you gain control of green and essentially keep that line of sight down mid, you also have the player dedicated into top L. It just becomes really difficult to try take over that site at all, and it does get you into a little bit of a footlock at times.
Yeah, if you can have green control, you have people in wet house to secure B, then it's basically, and obviously if you're winning a gunfight, it's basically impossible for the other team to get through. As you can see, player number 8, that's Hypes, just sitting at the back there, making sure no one comes through mid. And you can see the tension's going to be turned to green now, and it's going to be Hypes again picking up those kills and making sure Frantic doesn't get through.
Alright, so we cross over to Sizz, who's going full James Bond at the moment, unfortunately. Has not picked up his first kill of the game. There is a player on his left-hand side. Will he be able to come up with one? Yes! It's not the commentator's curse anymore. It's a commentator's lucky draw as he picks himself up one. And right now, it does look like the C flag will also get picked up here from Astra. So this is going to just force chaos essentially across the map as spawns will flip and flop and go back and forward. Is it a bit greedy from Astra, or do you think they're just trying to finish this one out as soon as possible?
Nick, not to be rude, but knowing Astra and the team they're playing now, they're trying to put as much points on the board first half so they can just relax going into the second half. As you can see already, the score is 81-27 and counting for this team from Astra as they get in the 3 cap yet again. But the rotation comes in from player number 4, that is Heroes, to get some of the other side. But just from Sizz, a horrible start from him, 1 and 9. He needs to pick things up. And against a team like Astra, you can't have anyone slacking.
Yeah, I mean, it's really, really hard to see them currently just getting taken out time and time again. But on the opposite ends, Astra got to be happy with their performance as Lithium probably goes for a little bit too much of a challenge there. Hype's currently going 12 and 5 from his side. Ollie as well as Kovs just holding down things tight. And you can see one of the key things is when it comes down to Astra, they make sure that they can rotate their positions to pick up the areas of control. As you watching currently in red, they don't necessarily have the line that they would traditionally hold, as they are split off across the map. But to be honest, the person that's going to have the most difficult time right now is going to be Kovs, as he will actually get taken down on screen.
Yeah, indeed so, but look how close his teammates are to him. to help him up, and look at like that again. Rahil with 3, and Nick, it's one-way traffic as mentioned at the end of this first half, where it's gonna be what 121 points to 33.
Yep. Oh, he's running with the Simtex on his back as Bep managed to get the Simtex sticky onto Rahil there, as it does look like we will swap sides, but that's not going to be a good thing, unfortunately, because that was Frantic's good side of spawns on this domination.
Yeah, it was, and they needed to capitalize on that, and they didn't. Bad start from some of the players from Frantic, but if I'm Frantic right now, Nick, I would say, listen, gents, we're far back in this at halftime. Let's just work on our fundamentals. Make sure we secure our home flag. Let's not over-rotate. If you want to go for this win, I don't think it's out of reach just yet, but it's very close.
Yeah, it does look like there's going to be Covs and Hypes on this B site at the moment. And Frantic, unfortunately, not going to be able to come out on top of those challenges just yet. However, they pick up 1, and this might be a good opportunity for them to come up with a push. They needed the double peek there. Redham needed to pop out a little bit earlier to save his teammate, but Scorch and Redham are going to be the last 2 left alive. As Redham currently sitting top L, it is a position that he needs to hold.
Yeah, indeed so. And good play from him, not over-picking as he guns Rahil there. I think Rahil was focused on someone else there, but again, the score feed or the kill feed lights up all for Astra, as all 5 fall now for Frantic. And Nick, I think when we come to this 3-minute mark, and it looks like it's going to be all over.
Yeah, I mean, from Astra's side of things, they've been showing a little bit of a flawless, an exhibition, if you will, in terms of how to play domination, and Hackney has definitely been one of their go-to maps in a lot of ways. However, furthest forward now, Scorch has an opportunity, as it does look like B has been abandoned for a couple of seconds, but Lithium is on his way.
Yeah, I just was watching Covs there for a second, just bamboozling one of the opposing team players there, so he takes out Beppel as well. And that's just once again the experience from this Astra team shining through, gun skill shining through. But that is why the score looks like it is.
Yeah, I mean, other than that, I mean, I think the biggest thing here is I don't want to necessarily harp on Frantic's 6 side of things. From my understand, this is not their usual or traditional full squad. I could be wrong, but I do understand that they may have been affected from the over 18 ruling. So perhaps that leaking through a little bit here today, going up against the powerhouse that is Astra. Further from that, I mean, it's unfortunate that we're going to not be able to see another search and destroy. I think Frantic definitely has some options in their team and some definite experience when it comes down to search. It just really didn't play out as we wanted to see it in Piccadilly. But crossing to the action once again, it's just going to be a simple hold of C as Sizz tries his best to stay up, and at the moment it's not even looking like Astra even need to try. They're just getting the kills everywhere around the pitch as they are fastly approaching that 200-point mark.
Yeah, all in a day's work for Astra, it looks like, as they're just going through their routine at this stage. If you're looking at the scorecard, Covs 21 and 11, Ollie 16 and 8. 24 and 10 for Hypes, Rahil 20 and 11, Doru 21 and 10, and if you're looking at the other side, it's a whole different story.
Alright, so at the moment it does look like the 8 capture will try to get made here from the Astra lineup as they jump their way in. At the moment, furthest player is going to be Sizz, trying to make his way through the doorway, as essentially will get flanked on either side as he will get taken down as well. And now the B site gets opened for a little bit. But even with the overcommitment from Astra, still Frantic not able to find essentially a coordinated effort towards a site, which has to be concerning for their life in the series.
Yeah, you would think the comms are like, gents, let's get together, let's make a coordinated push, let's make sure we can get the trades if need be, but we don't really see them come in as Astra picks them up one by one. Redham gets another kill from top window, it's 2 of them, but a trade finally gets in, and it's only 2 people left alive in that warehouse, but looks like they're going to be taken out yet again.
Bep with a very interesting grenade against the door there, as Just worried that that one was going to shut down on him, unfortunately. But it does look like trying to utilize the roof, but doesn't spot out anybody just yet. Once again, just odd decisions being made here. I mean, I know the MP5 is joked around a lot in terms of being able to have range, but if you're going to be looking for range kills with the MP5 in mid-map on top of the roof, you've got to start questioning what those plays are. Or perhaps it's just too late in the game to even start to worry.
Yeah, no, at this stage, Astra can basically put down the controllers, switch off and call it a day. But we're just going to play out the last 30 seconds. But it was a really flawless gameplay from Astra. Right through from the hard point to the search and destroy, then to this domination. One-way traffic all the way.
Alright, as we close down to the last 12 seconds left of the game, I mean, this should be a relatively convincing one if you're not convinced already about what a prolific force this Astra lineup is. You're seeing it right here displayed in full force as they don't even let their opposition get close to that 100-point mark once again. And that's, I mean, saying something when it comes down to this domination, ladies and gentlemen, as it's going to be Astra Infinite rolling out the 3-0 winners on this, essentially third map, which was none other than domination on Hackney Yard. And there we go. Congratulations, I guess, in order for Astra Infinite. And Delray, from your side of things, I know you didn't expect any different from this Astra squad that has been absolutely amazing. I was hoping that we're going to be able to see something from this Frantic squad to come up solid, but hey, I guess I'll be the one walking away slightly disappointed from that side of things. But now, we were talking about those rivalries setting it a little bit earlier in terms of, is there anybody that can knock on the door of Astra and essentially step toe-to-toe? You mentioned Phoenix. You mentioned, I believe, I Envy to be able to stand in that one. What are your thoughts on the White Rabbit gaming team?
Well, from the White Rabbit gaming team, they've got also some well-known names in that team that can cause that upset. You've got Hypes, you've got Beach, you've got Koala there. You have a lot of players that can possibly cause that upset. I don't know if it will happen, Nick, but they need to rewatch what Astra is doing on every single map and watch those VODs and make sure you can counter what they put up. Because clearly what you can see is we saw a domination now that looks like an hard point where it was 250 to 67. I think this team from... I even forgot the name now, Nick. But Frantic.
Yeah.
Frantic. Well, they were Frantic to start with, but they
and to
basically
finish with, I think.
They couldn't even get more points than they did in that hard point at the beginning. But Nick, from this Astra team, I don't think anyone is out there currently that can beat them. There is people that can put up a good fight and maybe cause an upset, but it's clearly to see, we can clearly see who is number one right now.
Well, if there has been a challenge, it's definitely going out across to those previously mentioned teams. You guys need to show us what you have. There's still a lot of room to cause a couple of upsets. Of course, the Challenger Series, that's going to be an opportunity for essentially some of the more unknown teams to shine their way through, as the top 8, of course, will move to the Premier. The Challenger has a 3,000 Rand prize pool, and the Premier has that 10,000 Rand prize pool in cash money, ladies and gentlemen. So a big opportunity for the Premier teams to really show their stuff. And we'll make sure that we can broadcast almost every single one of those games during the Premier Knockouts. So make sure that you watch this space. If you haven't already, drop a subscribe, drop a like. And we, of course, do appreciate you coming out here today and showing us some love on the streams. Dare, from my side of things, I think that's going to be on a good note to be able to call this evening. Best of luck to all the teams. We know that there's a couple of fixtures still being played out there, so best of luck to each and every one of you. It's been a tough grind, I know, but I'm sure that we'll be able to see the best team shine through. Delray, before we close this out, of course, I need a hand to you. Anything that you want to say?
Yeah, firstly, GG to Astra. Again, a good showing from them, from Frantic. It's not over yet for you guys. Go back to the drawing board. Make sure you come out firing. If you do drop down to the Challenger Cup, make sure you come out firing and make sure you get or go all the way and hopefully get some cash in your pocket. But from my side, again, a good Call of Duty we see from only one side, unfortunately, this time.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for tuning in here today. And as you said, only good Call of Duty maybe coming in from Astra, but I'm sure there's good Call of Duty coming from the rest of the community throughout. I've been seeing those clips on Twitter, ladies and gentlemen, so some definite plays to be made. Hopefully somebody also figures out this crazy code that they've dropped for the new Call of Duty. I was hoping for a trailer, I'm not going to lie. I don't want to see people fiddling around with no projectors, but hopefully we'll be able to see something from that as well. From myself, ladies and gentlemen, and the rest of the ACGL family, I guess we'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.